Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to start taking apart the truck and getting it prepped and able to take apart and just grind down the rest of this frame. It's going to be a long process. It's going to be an exciting process. So make sure you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see this process, and let's get into this. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and remove this bumper. It's a few simple bolts, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the electrical connector as well for our trailer plug and our lights. Now this bumper is going to get completely redone, so it's going to be a very, very drastic change from what it is now to what it will be in the future, and it's very exciting. All right, so when it comes to the bumper bolts, you're going to have a bracket here, and this bracket is going to be just like this on the bumper, and these are going to be an 18mm bolt. And you just have these two little bolts right here that kind of angle your pitch for your bumper, and I believe these are really rusted, so I think they're like a 14 or 15 depending on how rusty they are. I think if I would have grinded them off, it would have been about a 14mm bolt, so keep that in mind. So far, so good. Another good tip here is to have like a bucket to put all your bolts in, and that way you can keep track of everything that you're taking off, because we're actually going to upgrade all of this hardware, you know, besides some of these bolts like this. But we're going to try and upgrade all of this hardware into newer hardware so that we don't have to deal with trying to reclaim this at all. Some of them we will reclaim, and I'll show you exactly what we do when we get to that point to reclaim this. Well, I just realized I need a new floor jack. Need a new floor jack and some jack stands, so I guess we're gonna head on over to Harbor Freight and get some new floor jack and get some new jack stands so we can finish this video, because I need to lift the truck up, get it on some jack stands so that we can take the tires off, get these traction bars off, and really get this, you know, get this really ready. But without the floor jack, without the jack stands, I'm SOL. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so we got our Daytona 4-ton heavy-duty floor jack. We've got our 6-ton jack stands underneath. Make sure you guys go ahead and chalk your wheels when you go ahead and lift your trucks up like this. It's highly, highly important to chalk your wheels for all safety precautions. Now, in regards to this beautiful floor jack we've got here, I did a review on this. It will be coming in the future, so make sure you guys look out for that. If you're watching this video already past when I uploaded it, click the link below, because it'll be already uploaded for you guys as well. I did not do a review on these 6-ton Harbor Freight heavy-duty jack stands. If you guys want me to, I most certainly can. Let me know in the future in the comments below if you want me to do that. Like I said, it is highly important you chalk your wheels when you're doing something like this. Safety, safety, safety. I cannot express it enough. Always safety first. You've got family, you've got loved ones. Make sure you protect yourself, because you matter. No matter what you think, you matter. So I'm kind of doing this a little out of the ordinary. I'm going to go ahead and take my tires off next. All right, so now that we've got that off, we definitely have to do some rear brakes here in the future. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take our traction bars off next and keep cracking at it. All right, so we've got our traction bars off. I still have to take the brackets off, which I'll do right now. But anyways, I do want to talk about these traction bars real quick. They are Kryptonite Death Kip traction bar. I absolutely love these traction bars. They install outstanding. They perform amazingly. They're really easy to install. They're really easy to take off. We are going to be sending these to powder coat along with our rear bumper and our leaf springs, because these are starting to rust as they did go through a winter. And these take a really, really large brunt of the road salt, the road grime. So we're gonna go ahead and get these repowder coated, since we're redoing a bunch of other stuff anyways. Now I will say, when it comes to stuff like this that I'm gonna go ahead and keep track of, like my Kryptonite traction bar bolts, I'm gonna keep track of all of those, put them separately in a different container than my, you know, standard bolt container. Because that bolt container is going to be stuff that I'm going to replace. The stuff that I'm not going to replace are these right here, and I'm going to make sure I label them and put them in the right spot so I don't lose track of them. All right, so unfortunately it is starting to rain on us here. My next step here that I wanted to show you guys in this process is taking these wire harnesses off. Not sure if I'm actually going to use these ones again or not. Here we've got our custom tail lights out of the way here. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to be using brand new ones or if I'm going to find some used ones or not. I am going to look these over. I'm going to check them out, see what the connectors look like, see what the wire looks like. The wire loom is actually in really good shape, so I'm not worried about that. But as long as the connector ends look really good, we'll reuse them. If they don't look up to par to what I like, we're going to go ahead and replace the rear harnesses for the tail lights and the trailer as well. Process here, we're going to go ahead and take a screwdriver and we're going to get all of these off, disconnected from the connectors or the plastic hold down clips here. Just like that, we've got them disconnected. And now we need to separate the wiring harnesses that come from the front of the truck, which again is going to be just like this. So you've got one right here, and this is your trailer wiring harness, obviously. That's this guy right here. They connect together, and then they've got a separate ground as well. This is your wiring harness or trailer plug that comes from the front of the truck, from the fuse box. This is going to be just like that. Little tab right here, you pull that on out, you look at that, and that is actually really good, you guys. Wow, I am really happy with that. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Now we're going to go ahead and disconnect the rest of these. So you've got your license plate lights, you've got your left tail light, and you've got your right tail light. We're going to go ahead and disconnect these same exact way. I had to put the camera down because I can't do it with one hand. There we go, there's one. There we go. For this one, this guy right here, for some reason, was kind of being a pain. So what I did is that I went in there with my screwdriver and just pried up on it to get it out. Worked really well. For some reason, you can see here it moves, but it didn't move enough for some reason to get it off the clip. And there's our rear wiring harness. All right, so what we have here, we're gonna go ahead and take this bracket off as well. This is going to be a 13 millimeter. And it just kind of pivots out just like that. I might be looking for a new one of these though, that's for sure. Man, that is nasty. All right, so what I'm doing here now is I am simply just gonna take that wiring harness all the way back to the fuel tank itself. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rear aftermarket brake controller. I'm gonna remove that as well. And then obviously we'll have to deal with the fuel sending unit. Now this fuel sending unit we're actually going to replace. I've talked about that already. So that's going to be on the task for this project. This is another connector here which we will remove. This is going to be for your, basically, you know, your sensor itself. Really nasty, really dirty, as you can tell. But anyways, it just goes kind of back to here, right here, and then underneath the truck, as you see right there. And then same with the rear harness for the tail lights and trailer and everything like that. So the one thing I will talk about here, this right here is a grounding source. You're gonna want to take this off and you're gonna want to go ahead and clean that out really good. Now when you do this, I'm going to talk about this here when we go ahead and do this, because it's very important how you do it and exactly what you do to do that, because you actually don't want to paint over that. That is not how you need to ground this truck. You do not want to paint over that and then put the bolt on. You're going to want to grind all that off, put the bolt on, and then paint over the bolt itself. Now it is starting to rain on us. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Like I said, this is going to be a multiple step process. I want to take my time with it. I want to show you guys step by step on how to get your frame prepped and ready for this type of process and exactly how you should do it during this process. That includes this really miscellaneous stuff that a lot of people will just skip right on over and tell you, boom, we got the wiring harness off, we've got the receiver off and all that kind of stuff, the traction bars. I know it's kind of boring. I want to show it though. I don't want to just skip through it. I want to show you guys the entire process. Like I said, it is going to be kind of boring, like that kind of stuff. I'm sure this wasn't the most exciting video in the world, but I really appreciate all the support, you guys. Stay tuned for Thursday's video when we do review that Harbor Freight jack stand. It will be linked below for you guys if you're watching this video previously than when I first initially uploaded it or past that review video. We are going to do a completely separate video on the rear axle. I'm going to be taking that rear axle out completely itself, and I'm going to show you exactly how you take your leaf springs off as well. Like I said, I want to do this multiple step process video on this so that I detail each and every point for you guys, that you can comfortably watch these videos and do this process yourself if you have the time and the resources. That is key. The biggest thing is the time. If you don't have the time, do not rush this process. If you don't have a spare vehicle, don't expect to go ahead and whip this together in one weekend unless you just want to go ahead and knock it out for 72 hours straight and not sleep. But it's very important that you go ahead and take your time with this process, do it the right way, keep track of all your nuts and bolts and all your hardware and stuff like that, so that way when you go to put it back on, it's a lot easier to put on. I guess that's kind of it, you guys. Make sure you go ahead and like the video. Like I said earlier, it's a big help. I appreciate all the support. I can't express it enough. It truly is humbling. Seriously, you guys, it really is humbling. I do have shirts and stickers. I do not wearing one right now. Shame on me. I should be wearing my own shirt, but I'm not currently wearing it. But it is a DIY diesel with an American flag on it and also a sticker as well. So make sure you guys go ahead and message me if you want something like that. My website is almost ready to launch. The only thing I'm missing is a picture of my shirt, and once I get a picture of my shirt, my website will launch with my two products that I have so far right now that I am working on getting more. So please, I appreciate all the support. If you want one, send me a message on Instagram and I'll go ahead and get you guys one. And we'll see you guys in this next video.